Hey guys, this is Typical Cycle Repair. Today we're going to be talking about chain stretch. Alright guys, so let's get into this here. First off, let's talk about what the chain is called. You have your inner links, outer links, your pins, and your rollers. So we have our, take a full chain like this here. So we have our outer links right here. Okay, the inner links are the ones that are on the inside. You have your rollers. Okay. All right, so here's your rollers right here. All right, and then your pins right here. All right, that's how the chain fits together like that. So let's talk about chain stretch. All right, now first off, your bike, no matter how powerful it is, it's not going to make enough power to stretch a chain. All right, so the falsehood here is that chains are actually stretching, and you're stretching the metal. Tensile strength of these chains are anywhere from 4,000 foot-pounds to somewhere in the area of 9,000, and probably more than that. The average ones that we're running on these dirt bikes and street bikes are somewhere in the area of 7,000 foot-pounds. So our bikes are making a powerful one. Drag racing bike making 130 foot-pounds of torque. These bikes we're riding, these dirt bikes, are making nowhere near that. There is going to be some more torque than the bike makes if you come off of a jump, if you land hard, if you're hitting things and putting the chain through stress, but it's not coming anywhere near that. All right, so let's get that out of the way. The chains are not stretching. We're not stretching the metal. Oh, I did want to mention also that when people say the stretch, there's other things that are in the bike that are going to prevent it from stretching. One of those being your clutch, right? If you have an excessive amount of torque on your bike, your clutch is going to slip, and you also have a cush drive in your rear wheel that's going to prevent that the hard hits that would damage the drivetrain of your bike. So all those things help prevent any kind of excessive amount of torque getting to the chain. But even though you wouldn't come anywhere near the amount of torque it takes to actually stretch metal. All right, so keep your chains clean, and you'll be good to go. So let's talk about how the chain gets longer. Okay, because really what's happening is the chain is getting longer. It's extending. So here we have the parts of the chain like we just talked about. The roller. All right, so the roller is the part that's actually coming in contact with the sprocket. All right, so here we have the sprocket here. And that's what we're talking about. Okay, your rollers are what's coming in contact with the teeth of the sprocket. All right, this sprocket is good and worn right here. If you look closely at the teeth, you can see that the teeth they have a they're starting to wave a little bit. They're getting pointy, and they have a little hook in them here. Okay, they shouldn't have that. They should be nice, clean, flat-topped peaks in there. All right. So what happens when we talk about chains wearing is that dirt and grime gets inside of the between the pin and the inner part of the roller here, okay, the roller guide. So inside of here, right, is where the dirt and grime gets, and you can see this one here has got a little bit of play. All right, so that little bit of play over all the lengths of the chain and all the lengths of the chain is going to make the chain longer. All right, so the roller part of the chain. All right, if dirt gets in between here, it just makes it'll make the roller really loose. And I've seen these rollers wear all the way through and actually come out and break off. So I've seen chains that are missing the roller part of it, but the chain's not going to come apart if you wear this out. It's going to make a racket and a lot of noise. If you look at the chain here, and I'm going to try to show you guys, this chain is good and worn out, and it's stretched. But I want you to pay attention to the links here. All right, and if you can see closely, try to get one you can see good. Right here. All right, if you look at all these right here, all these here are, look at that. You can imagine that over the length of a chain, okay? That's how it's going to get longer. Now, the reason that it wears out sprockets is that on the top part of the, so here's your sprocket mounted to the side of the bike, all right? This chain is getting pulled, it's getting pulled this way here. So as this gets pulled, all right, if you look at the links, the first ones here, these rollers are going to drop kind of in the right place, all right? But as we get to just this short piece of chain right here, as we get over to here, they're starting to hit the teeth of the chain, all right? And as it's hitting the tooth of the chain right there, it's going to start to wear it out. All right. So as it's spinning and the chain keeps hitting it, it's constantly hitting the lead part of the sprocket, harder than it should. It's not getting held down into the center part here, and it's going to wear it out. Now, roller chains versus non-roller chains. You have the roller chain, O-ring chain versus non-O-ring chain. This is a non-O-ring chain. People like these on smaller bikes, 125s and 80s and stuff, because they say it robs less power from the bike. I run O-rings and everything, don't really matter. I do have a small bike that I run a non-O-ring in, but what you're looking at here is that gap in between where you can see that sliding back and forth. There's an O-ring in there. The O-ring in there stops any dirt and grime from getting in between down in here where the pin is, all right? So the roller would, the O-ring would go right in there. So when the chain is put together, it's pressed, it's greased, and you can't get any dirt inside there, okay? That's where your wear is going to come from. So make sure you pick the right type of chain lube so that you're not picking a chain lube that attracts a lot of dirt and grime and pushes the dirt in there. If you have an O-ring, just keep it really clean and put a light lube on the outside just to stop any noise and lubrication from the, and keep it lubed from where it hits the actual sprocket, all right? But you know, you don't try to avoid any heavy lubes that attract a lot of dirt, because that's going to give you problems, and you want to try to just keep the dirt out of inside of there, okay? So keep your chain cleaned up. But that's how a chain gets stretched, all right? It's actually just wearing and extending and getting longer because of all the wear in each pin and how much wear over the whole length of the chain gets, okay? So it gets longer. That's why you adjust it. So another thing that helps this is your chain tension. Make sure you go to your bike, the specs in your bike and your manual, and get the right amount of tension in your chain. Too much chain tension is going to put excessive amounts of pressure on the inside. It's going to pull the chain really tight and put even more wear than it needs, than you would get normally. And it's also going to wear other things in the bike, your countershaft, bearings, and all that kind of stuff. So, alright guys, so make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell for further videos. Till next time, this is Tepco Cycle Repair.